Asteroid Lilith, 1181, in the ninth house, a natal interpretation. The placement of asteroid Lilith, not to be confused with the dark moon Lilith or the black moon Lilith point, brings a distinct flavor of the primordial, the repressed, and the taboo into the astrological chart. When situated in the ninth house, the house of higher learning, philosophy, expansion, and long-distance travel, Lilith's influence challenges the native to confront their deepest fears, societal conditioning, and unspoken truths regarding belief systems and worldview. The core meaning of Lilith, 1181. In astrology, asteroid Lilith represents the archetype of the independent, untamed, and often ostracized feminine energy. It points to the areas where an individual has experienced rejection, shame, or exile for refusing to conform to societal expectations. Lilith urges the individual to reclaim their personal authority, instincts, and raw power. When located in a natal chart, it highlights where we feel the most friction between belonging to a group and remaining authentic to our deeper, shadow self. The ninth house domain. The ninth house is traditionally associated with Sagittarius and Jupiter. It governs higher education, universities, philosophy, and intellectual exploration. Belief systems, religion, ethics, morality, and the search for meaning. Exploration, long-distance travel, foreign cultures, and the expansion of the mind. Law and publishing, the dissemination of truth and the pursuit of justice. Combining the raw, non-conformist energy of Lilith with the expansive, truth-seeking nature of the ninth house creates a unique psychological and spiritual dynamic. Key themes of Lilith in the ninth house. Rejection of dogma and orthodoxy. Individuals with this placement often find it difficult to accept traditional religious, political, or moral frameworks without questioning them deeply. They may have experienced early life religious or educational environments that attempted to suppress their natural instincts or independent thought. As a result, the native develops an innate skepticism toward authorities who claim to hold the absolute truth. They feel a strong urge to dismantle rigid dogma and seek a spiritual or philosophical path that honors their personal sovereignty rather than collective compliance. The search for unconventional truths. The ninth house is the house of seeking. With Lilith here, the quest for meaning is not a polite or conventional academic pursuit, it is a profound, often obsessive drive to understand the hidden or taboo sides of existence. These individuals may be drawn to esoteric subjects, occult philosophies, Jungian psychology, or alternative ways of living. They find wisdom in the margins of society rather than in mainstream institutions. The shadow of travel and foreign environments. When undertaking long-distance travel or immersing themselves in foreign cultures, these individuals may encounter situations that trigger feelings of isolation or being the outsider. However, these experiences are often exactly what the soul needs for empowerment. Travel acts as a catalyst for breaking free from the cultural conditioning that bound them, allowing the native to construct their own moral compass. Intellectual vulnerability and expression. There can be a fear of speaking one's truth due to the subconscious conditioning that such truths are unacceptable or dangerous. The native may struggle with imposter syndrome in academic or philosophical settings, or they may feel that their intellectual pursuits are too unorthodox for general acceptance. Overcoming this placement involves speaking with conviction, regardless of whether it alienates those who prefer comfortable, conventional worldviews. Evolution and integration. The evolutionary journey of a ninth house Lilith requires a transition from rebellion for its own sake to genuine, empowered self-expression. To integrate this energy, the individual must release the fear of alienation, acknowledge that not everyone will agree with their worldview, and that this divergence is a strength rather than a flaw. Share their unique perspective, use their voice to challenge outdated systems and bring marginalized truths to light. Cultivate an internal moral authority, stop looking to external figures for permission to hold philosophical beliefs, trusting their own instincts and lived experiences. By facing the shadows associated with their intellect and belief systems, the native transforms their Lilith placement from a source of alienation into a beacon of authentic wisdom and spiritual liberation. Asteroid Lilith, 1181, transit through the ninth house, the call of the wild mind. Transits are the dynamic mechanics of astrology, tracking how the planets currently moving through the sky interact with the blueprint of your natal chart. While the faster-moving bodies bring daily shifts, the movement of Asteroid Lilith, 1181, unearths deeper, instinctual, and often taboo psychological themes. When Asteroid Lilith transits the ninth house, the sphere of higher learning, philosophy, belief systems, and long-distance travel, it initiates a powerful period of questioning, rebellion, and intellectual liberation. This transit acts as a cosmic invitation to discard old, conditioned worldviews and reclaim the authority of your own inner wisdom. The core dynamics of Asteroid Lilith. Asteroid Lilith represents raw passion, nonconformity, suppressed rage, and the untamed feminine archetype. While the Black Moon Lilith represents a calculated, shadowy point in space, Asteroid Lilith is an actual physical rock orbiting in the asteroid belt. It highlights the areas of life where you are unwilling to compromise your independence, where you have felt demonized or rejected for being different, and where you are challenged to assert your personal boundaries. When Lilith transits a house, it activates those specific life domains with a sharp, uncompromising energy that demands authenticity, even at the risk of causing friction. Key themes of the ninth house transit. The ninth house, associated with Sagittarius and Jupiter, governs the expansion of the mind. It includes higher education, ethics, law, publishing, religion, and foreign travel. When Asteroid Lilith moves through this house, the impact manifests across several key dimensions of experience. 1. Challenging orthodoxy and rigid beliefs. The transit exposes the friction between collective societal dogmas and your raw, instinctual truth. During this time, you may find yourself questioning or openly rejecting religious, political, or philosophical frameworks that you previously accepted without question. You may experience an urge to strip away layers of conditioned morality to find what you truly believe. This can result in clashes with authority figures, mentors, or academic institutions if they attempt to enforce rigid conformity upon your thought processes. 2. The desire for unconventional wisdom. The search for meaning becomes intense and highly personalized. Rather than relying on established gurus or institutions, the Lilith in the ninth house transit drives you to seek out taboo, esoteric, or alternative forms of knowledge. You are drawn to subjects that are usually kept hidden or unexamined. Your learning style during this transit is deeply intuitive. You are more interested in experiential truths and primal wisdom than in dry, accepted academic facts. 3. Encounters with the outsider archetype. Because the ninth house rules foreign lands and distant journeys, traveling or encountering people from different cultural backgrounds during this period can trigger deep-seated feelings of being an outsider. You may feel alienated or misunderstood due to your unconventional views, but this sense of alienation acts as a catalyst for empowerment. It forces you to stand on your own 2 feet and realize that you do not need external validation for your perspective to be valid. 4. Overcoming intellectual insecurity. A major psychological hurdle during this transit is the fear of being seen as radical, uneducated, or too wild in your communication. You may have to confront the shadow of imposter syndrome regarding your knowledge or spiritual beliefs. The transit asks you to step past these doubts and speak your truth with conviction, regardless of who is offended or left behind by your evolution. Evolutionary potential and integration. To make the most of this transit, it is essential to channel its energy constructively rather than acting out in blind rebellion. Define your own code of ethics. Use this period to formulate a personal moral compass that honors your instincts rather than societal or familial expectations. Question with courage. It is safe to challenge old paradigms, provided you are doing so from a place of self-knowledge rather than mere contrarianism. Embrace the role of the unconventional thinker. Own your unique voice. Your perspective does not need to appeal to the masses to possess deep wisdom. By integrating the wildness of Lilith into your pursuit of knowledge, this ninth house transit transforms your worldview, leaving you with a deeper, more authentic connection to your truth. Subscribe, like, and share.